common advice to eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full straight up doesn't work for most people with ADHD. So if you have ADHD and you've tried to do that, and the result is that you tend to not eat all day and then way go nuts in the evening time, I'm not surprised. And the biggest reason for that is because folks with ADHD do not have reliable hunger cues. Part of that has to do with attention. So if your brain is busy thinking about other things, or you're being pulled in 1600 million directions and your focus is elsewhere, it's really hard to pause and check in with how your body feels. You're kind of up in your head way too much and not down in your body. So it's really easy to ignore those signals or to not attribute those signals to hunger. The second reason is that a lot of people with ADHD have a really hard time prioritizing things. So even if you do feel hungry, it may be really challenging for you to recognize that cue as being a priority. So what often happens for folks is that they'll go, oh, I'm hungry, but it's more important to stay focused on the thing that I'm doing right now so that I don't lose focus, and then we'll just kind of squash it down and ignore it. And medications don't help the situation, because most of the medications that people take for ADHD, such as Adderall or Vyvanse or other stimulant type medications, they really suppress appetite. And so the concept of like mindful or intuitive eating is really appealing. We do want to be in touch with our bodies and nourish it the way that it wants to. However, if you struggle to know when you're hungry, or you struggle to respond to that hunger cue when it does pop up, then what often happens for people who try a more intuitive eating approach is that they'll be waiting and waiting and waiting for the hunger cue to happen. They'll typically not eat much, if at all, during the day. And at the end of the day, they're tired, they're grumpy, they have no energy, no motivation. Their ability to focus and initiate tasks is absolutely in the toilet because they've been undernourished and they're starving. So the likelihood that you're going to eat a lot, that you're going to eat hyper palatable, easily accessible snack foods, and the likelihood that you're going to have a really hard time noticing when you're full and you're going to eat past fullness goes way up. So does that mean that people with ADHD can't do intuitive eating? No, intuitive eating actually can be very effective for people with ADHD. It just has to look a little bit different, and it has to be tailored to the way your brain works. So if you want to learn how to be more in touch with your body and more in tune with your body's hunger cues, definitely give me a follow, because all of the content that I'm going to make this week is going to be centered around navigating hunger cues for neurodivergence. Additionally, if you're someone who's really been curious about the intuitive eating approach, but you don't know how to do it as a neurospicy person, my February newsletter that's going out at the end of this week is going to be all about how to modify the intuitive eating approach to fit the ADHD brain. So you can subscribe to my newsletter through the link in bio.